Tonight on Missing Persons Unit.
Mate, everyone says he's a good bloke, like he's outgoing and...
Daniel calls for backup in the search for a missing cab driver.
So many people know him and he's obviously so well liked, that's almost defies comprehension.
Who are these men? 2 bodies found, but no one can identify them. Now tattooists are called in an attempt to solve the mystery.
They would have been tattooed in the early 80s, late 70s.
Living rough, but still loved. One man's search for his lost brother who's surviving somewhere on the streets of Sydney.
Let us know where you are and what you're doing, and I just want to come and give you a hand, because you're my brother and you're always there for me, and I'll always be there for you, Darren.
An alarming disappearance as a man who can't stop eating goes missing.
Basically every minute that we don't know where he is one more minute closer to him being in real trouble.
And finding teenage runaways before trouble finds them.
This is a parent's worst nightmare. There's people lurking around. Half of these kids, you know, they're 14, 15 years old.
At New South Wales Missing Persons Unit, Senior Constable Daniel Higgins is on the urgent case of a recently retired taxi driver, Johnny, who disappeared 5 days ago.
He's 61 years old. In the last couple of years, he has slowly started working less. He used to be quite an active worker. He obviously feels like he's losing his independence. He's losing his ability to financially contribute to the family. Given that, he's also developed diabetes within the last couple of years. So there's a lot of factors that are really impacting on him at the moment. It may be that he just needs a bit of time out to reassess what's happening with his life. There's some real concerning signs here, and it's certainly something that needs to be a lot of attention paid to it really quickly.
Johnny's family were too distressed to be on camera, so with few clues to work on, Daniel's hoping the ex-cabbie's former employer can help.
In the city, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of cabbies out there. So if we can sort of get the photo out and get the knowledge out that he's missing, I mean, it really extends the search beyond anything that the police are capable of normally. G'day. Yeah. I was after Laurie.
Yeah, it's me, Laurie Gordon.
G'day. How you going? Daniel Higgins.
Not bad.
This is Linda McAllister.
How are you?
Just looking for our missing person. It's pretty well known in the cabbie game, so if you're able to like put it out to your drivers and stuff that we're looking for him, that would be unreal if you could sort of help us out there.
No problem at all. We've got 520 odd cabs in the fleet, 2,500 taxi drivers. We can get a message out over the air, on the hour, every hour for 2 or 3 days non-stop. We can put posters up around the building. We can do anything you like just to try and find out where he is.
I know him very well.
He worked in the area.
I know. We got to play together.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Your pickup address, please.
In the cab company's communication centre, a message about this unusual disappearance is being sent to hundreds of taxi drivers.
That's great. They're going to get the word out throughout the city. We'll probably head back to his local area, speak to a few of the locals out there and see how we go.
A 1,000 kilometres away in Nambour, the Queensland Missing Persons Unit are working on an unusual case. They have a body. It's the person's identity that's missing. The dead man was found by locals on a cement spillway at a nearby dam.
This is the location here where the man's body was found. Initial inquiries so far have failed to identify who he is, so we're hoping that you guys might be able to give us a hand with it.
We're 500 metres from the road. It's semi-rural. My thoughts are that he would have had to be familiar with the area or have friends in the area that have told him, or he's been here before.
But no one in the area could shed any light on who the person might be. Detective Damien Powell was left with only photos of a badly decomposed face and body. So he's come to Kevin Darch, a visual identification specialist, who'll try to recreate an accurate photographic likeness of the man.
Before he was located, so it's not a suitable image that we can take around and show people. So we need your help to reconstruct it.
Sure.
But Kevin has more than just a face to enhance.
He's got a number of tattoos which we hope to be able to raise up and give a clearer picture. They're quite old tattoos. Now, because they're so old, do you think you'd be able to raise them up at all or get a better profile on them?
Sometimes with tattoos we can get some more contrast out of the images by using the infrared technique.
Right.
We use infrared photography, and sometimes with the we use ultraviolet photography to find out if there's anything underneath the tattoo.
Oh, okay.
If there's any scars or existing damage to the skin,
right.
The ultraviolet might help us with that.
Certainly somebody should be able to identify this man, and you know, we can assist the family with identifying what's happened to him.
On the search for the missing cab driver, Daniel and Belinda have put out an alert across the taxi airwaves. Now, they're taking to the streets to spread the message further.
We're just going to go down the cab rank and just speak to a few of the cabbies. Maybe one of them will know him, or even better, they might have some new information that'll help us find him. How are you, mate? Looking for a bloke that's missing at the moment. This is him. We know he used to be.
Yeah, he's a very good man.
Yeah, mate. He's been missing for over a week, so we're really.
Received the message for 1 week.
He's got the message.
We received the message. Yeah.
Most of the drivers here,
yep.
They know where he lives and they know him personally.
Do you know him at all?
Yeah, he used to drive a taxi.
Yeah, he's been missing for like a week. He used to drive cabs,
I know.
yeah.
Legion cab.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago with his wife and.
Oh, you saw his wife 2 weeks ago. In the last week, he's gone missing.
This one I know a long time ago.
He's nice. Yeah, mate, everyone says he's a good bloke, like he's outgoing, and so many people know him, and he's obviously so well-liked. It almost defies comprehension, the fact that he's basically just vanished off the face of the earth.
The missing man was a beloved part of the Macedonian community, so Dan enlists the help of an interpreter to represent his distressed family.
Полицията на Нов Южен Велс апелират до New South Wales Police is looking for the missing person. We hold concerns for his safety, so does the family. If you have any information, please contact either Crime Stoppers, the Missing Persons Unit, or Bankstown Police.
In Queensland, Detective Damien Powell is on the mysterious case of the unidentified body found on a dam spillway. He's at Nambour Police Station, going through the belongings found on the dead man. Is there something unusual in these everyday items that could provide the vital clue?
Okay, it looks brand new. All right, well, we'll make some more inquiries with the suppliers of that. It's a registered trademark, so...
They're the blister packs of the medication that was located around him.
OK. It's upwards of around 100 tablets by the looks of it. We'll make some more inquiries with the pharmaceuticals about that, see if we can do something with that. And this Free Choice lighter, that's a chain of stores, cigarette supplying companies, so maybe if we go around the local Free Choice here in town, they might know him as a regular.
Yeah.
Back at headquarters, Kevin Darch is creating an image of the man's likeness based on measurements taken from his decomposed face.
Once we have a different set of eyes from somebody, we can gradually build up the face with as much of the similar features that I have available.
Using photos of other people, Kevin matches up facial features he thinks they may have in common. A similar sized or shaped nose, mouth or chin.
And hopefully it's something that we'll be able to help you.
Oh, mate, that looks great. Seeing him in a colour, fresh photo like that, I know it's an artist, but it just will help the public to identify him.
He's also enhanced the tattoos to create a clearer image of the designs on the body.
It's like a shark there with some different coloration.
Yep. These persons are somebody's friend, father, brother, mate. So we're very anxious to give them some closure as to what's happened to their son or their brother.
With this publicly presentable likeness of the dead man and his tattoos, Damien and Kelly can now return to the area he was found in the hope that someone recognises this face.
Hi, how you doing? Senior Constable Kelly Bizzle from Missing Persons in Brisbane. We've just got a person that's been missing since the 9th of September 2008. Just wondering if you recognise this photo at all?
Not at all. Do you recall anyone hanging around the area at the time? Or?
No, kind of keep to ourselves.
Hi, how you doing? Just want you to have a look at it and see if you recognise this male person at all.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I remember it happening, but I don't know anything about it.
No.
I didn't see anything at the time.
All right, mate.
OK, no worries. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your help, mate. Cheers.
Back at New South Wales Missing Persons Unit, another case is unfolding. Senior Constable Gary Bailey is on the phone to the brother of 39-year-old Darren Jones, who's gone missing for the second time in a year.
Hello?
Yeah, Grant.
Yes, mate.
Yeah, Gary Bailey, Missing Persons, mate. How you going?
Oh, mate, how you been, man?
Not bad. So you've heard nothing since 2nd of August or something like that, I think it was?
Yeah.
And because you've had no luck at all since then?
No, nothing, mate, with a few inquiries and that I've made. He hasn't been at the community centre.
Gary's familiar with this case. He found Darren when he went missing the first time.
From my, talking to him in August there, I don't think it's the case that he doesn't want nothing to do. I think he's just lost his memory,
Yeah.
He sort of said to me that he didn't have a brother, he didn't have a mother. He'd lived in that little place all his life, We'll rock over, have a bit of a chat, and then we'll go from there.
Cheers, mate.
Darren has now been missing for 5 months, and his brother is worried he may have come to some harm. His medical history is also a big concern.
We'd like to find him for 2 reasons: to reunite the family, and also to get him back on his medication, and he should be as good as gold. Gary Bailey, Missing Persons.
There you go, mate.
That's Liz.
Liz, good morning. Darren has battled very hard with the depression and everything for 20 years.
Yeah.
But he got a little bit depressed last year and he started to drink alcohol again,
Yep.
which counteracts all the medication, and slowly, by degree, the mental capability lose him type thing. We sent mental health out there to try and contact him. He said, "No, you people are here to lock me up," type thing, and that wasn't an issue at all. I just wanted Darren to be assessed for his medication again. Coming from his family, I know that he's struggling a bit, and I can't turn a blind eye on him. Our mother never turned a blind eye on both of our sons, and me and my brother, and he never turned a blind eye on me, so I can't just continue on my life and forget my brother, you know what I mean? Mate, on behalf of myself and my mother, and I know my grandparents that have passed away that love my brother, I want to thank New South Wales Police and Missing Persons, they for helping us, so thank you very much.
All right. From the information we've sort of got now, I think we'll now head in towards Centennial Park in the city. We believe that's where sort of Darren's hanging around there. So we'll go in there and see if we can spot him.
Darren has a lot of problems, but he also has a brother who's never stopped caring about him.
Darren, if by any chance you're watching this, just stick your hand back up, mate, and let us know where you are and what you're doing. And I just want to come and give you a hand, because you're my brother and you're always there for me. And I'll always be there for you, Darren.
On the search for Johnny, the missing cab driver, Daniel and Belinda continue to search the areas near where he lives.
Good afternoon. Big trouble. How are you all this afternoon? We're looking around the area for a gentleman that's gone missing. We think that
A large percentage of people who go missing without their medicine are found disoriented and confused, not far from their own home.
He's been missing for a few days. So, yeah, it's very worrying. We think he's been around this area. Nobody's seen him? No one recognises him? No? OK. All right, thank you for your time, guys. Enjoy your afternoon. Cheers. Thank you. You guys haven't seen this gentleman around the area at all?
There's some people up there too.
I don't know if you've seen that fella at all. Don't recognise him? No worries.
Although it's a huge parkland, Daniel's not prepared to give up, and he calls for backup.
I mean, it is a really big park, and I mean, there's only so much we can do. All right. The clock's really ticking on this one. We really need to find him.
The weather is closing in, and the police bike squad will be able to quickly cover a large area of ground.
Well, if you boys want to go north, I'll come with you guys. We'll go south on the back channels. All right? See you in a couple. I'll give you a buzz.
This is the thing, he could be bloody anywhere.
It's a pretty thick bush, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, whereabouts are you boys?
Just up at the trail before you got turned around.
It's pretty thick in there, lads.
In bushland so dense, police have to be incredibly thorough in their search. If Johnny has collapsed, he'd be almost impossible to find.
This is full on. We might just head back and see how the bikes are gone and see how we go from there.
Yeah, I think we'll call it a day, mate. We'll head back in. See you back there.
Yeah, copy, mate. See you shortly.
Guys.
Mate, how you going?
How's it going? How'd you go?
Mate, we pretty much covered from here all the way to the Crest Reserve, which is over the other side of Rex Road, and couldn't locate it, mate.
No
Gets
good.
pretty rough up in there. It was pretty slippery and no good.
No worries. I mean, we've been all around in this sort of area, like on foot and even down near the water and stuff like that. It's a real tough ask, so I really appreciate you guys coming out, eh?
All right.
Thanks, fellas.
See you.
Take it easy. Cheers.
Daniel's passionate about his job and wants to bring the missing man home to his family. But as every hour passes, the frustration grows and the hope fades.
Just be anywhere.
Another parkland more familiar to the Missing Persons Unit is Sydney's Centennial Park, a place where homeless people often seek refuge. People like Darren Jones, who's been missing for 5 months.
I would just love to find Darren, you know, and get him back to his family. You know, his mother's very sick. She's in hospital. She worries about him. The brother Grant has spent hundreds of hours searching all over Sydney for him. It's just a shocking thing to think that the poor bugger's just wandering around aimlessly, doesn't know who he is or anything. And I'd really like to find him, you know, and just get him back on track.
He's thought to have returned to his habit of living rough, possibly in this park, where he was the last time Gary found him.
We've got a few blankets and that, and a few old bags and that they throw over themselves. And they just sort of camp around there overnight, and then just during the day they head around to some of these soup kitchens and that, just to get a feed.
Gary and Liz searched the park for 2 hours, but this time there's no sign of Darren. But Gary's not giving up. He's heading to Woolloomooloo, an inner Sydney suburb where scores of homeless people sleep every night.
Where you going, boys? Just looking for a bloke, a missing person. His family's a bit concerned about him. You just have a look and see if you've seen him around at all.
No,
he probably looks a bit more scraggly in that now.
Haven't seen him.
Haven't seen him?
No.
All right, thanks for that. Okay, thanks, mate. Good on you. Haven't seen him? No, his family's worrying about him, that's all.
Gary is running out of places to search, and there is a real risk Darren might never be found.
Oh, my God.
It's a pretty sad old world, isn't it?
It is. It's terrible. How people can live like this. And he doesn't have to live like this.
No, that's right, exactly. Here we've asked a lot of the homeless people around here and showed the photograph around, but no one sighted Darren at all. I think it's going to come down to now that we're just going to have to hope the only way he's going to be located is through comes under police notice.
In Brisbane, Damien and Kelly are visiting tattoo parlours, hoping to solve their missing person mystery.
Yeah, mate. We're looking for some help with a gentleman who we found located up at Poona Dam. He's got a couple of tattoos. We're hoping you guys might know something about whether they're made locally or how old they are and that sort of thing. Sure. Happy to have a couple of photos for us? All right.
They've enhanced images of 4 tattoos found on the mystery man's body, and they're hoping the images are distinctive enough to be recognised.
Is there anything you can tell me about that style of tattoo? Are they made locally or how old they might be?
These are basically old American tradition style tattoo.
When you say American tradition, would that mean they're made in America or...?
Well, the tradition of art comes from America. They are reproduced throughout Australia. You wouldn't really be able to pinpoint exactly where they were done.
Do you have any sort of age? How old do you think they might be?
I dare say they would have been tattooed in the early 80s, late 70s.
Damien and Kelly now, at least, have an approximate age for the tattoos. It's a start, but there's still a long way to go.
Damien Powell from Queensland Police.
How you going?
Good, mate, good. It's Kelly Bizzle from my office.
How you doing?
Mate, we're looking for your help. We've got a gentleman located up on the Poona Wall Dam back in September last year. Mate, this is our reconstructed image of his face. Tattoos he's got are fairly old, but we wondered whether he'd been in here looking for more tattoos or looking for...
Not that I can recall, like, I don't seem to remember him coming into the shop at all here.
Right. No one around the coast that would do this style of work?
Nah.
Yeah.
It'll be old timers, you know, like I'd say whoever done that sort of style would be retired by now, definitely be in their 70s.
Right.
Yeah. It might be a good idea if you can talk to a tattooist that maybe is in his late 60s or something, you know, that might ring a bell with them.
A bit of old school stuff.
That's more old school stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's a great help. At least it pushes his age limit further to that 60 limit. Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate
Thank you very
your help.
much.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
In Sydney, the New South Wales Missing Persons Unit has an almost identical case.
Back in October 2004, there was a male body found just in the water off South Head. He was wearing a little bit of clothing and had a watch on his wrist. But besides that, we haven't been able to identify him at this stage.
Sergeant Samantha Davies and Senior Constable Mandy Gale's best chance of identifying the body of this man is once again through a tattoo.
The man has a distinctive tattoo on his left upper arm. It has a yin-yang symbol and also some Latin writing with also some Roman numerals, which translates to Not Afraid of Death, 1998.
Samantha and Mandy are hoping modern technology can help. They're at the Sydney morgue to take new colour photos of the tattoo. These new digital photos will be fed into a computer to see if a match can be made on the police database.
Hi, Liz.
Oh, hi, how you going?
Good. Just got this tattoo of an unidentified body that we have. Are you able to do a search on the system to see if we can identify who he might be from the tattoo?
It's a fairly common tattoo. Yin yang on
Yeah.
there, and there'll be lots that come up, but we can try and narrow it down. What dates was it?
2004.
2004.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll get the ones before 2004 and I'll go through each one because it's going to take some time to
Yeah,
look.
okay.
It's fairly common, and I'll go through the Latin words that are around there as well. Yeah, all right.
Tattoos are unique identifying markers and might be the only way to put a name to a face.
There was a lot of hits because it's a common, you know,
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there was no luck with identifying who this gentleman is. Yeah. Back to square one, I
Yeah,
guess.
we'll go back to the drawing board and see what we can find anyway. Keep searching, that's all we
Yeah.
can do.
All right, mate, well, good luck.
Thanks for your help.
Okay, no
See
worries.
ya. It's very important to identify this man and give him the dignity that he deserves because he was a human being, he's lived a life, and someone out there knows him. He could be someone's father, someone's brother, someone's son. So it's very important to put a name to this man and give him the end that he really deserves, that any human deserves.
Back in Queensland, on the case of the other tattooed body, it turns out the blister packets of drugs found on the man were tablets commonly used for cancer patients. But an autopsy showed he did not have cancer. And unfortunately, the clothing was too generic to provide any further clues. police can now only hope these new images may help generate further leads with a public appeal. If you recognise these faces or these distinctive tattoos, please call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. In Sydney, there's been a sad development in the case of Johnny, the missing ex-cabbie.
Unfortunately, it's one of those situations that it's not good news. He was located over the weekend, but by the time that he was located, he'd unfortunately passed away. These are the really hard ones to deal with. He was a man that was clearly, you know, well-liked and popular amongst his peers. He was respected within the community, and his family clearly loved him very, very much. For me, my condolences or thoughts are with the family at a time like this. It's never an easy thing to deal with, something like this. And from a police perspective, you know, these are the hard days, and I just hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day.
Being a police officer can be a confronting and unrelenting job. Daniel must now speak to the mother of a 35-year-old man who's been missing for 24 hours, and he has a very unusual illness.
It looks like he's been missing a few times, historically.
He's actually been a chronic absconder since the age of 4, and he's now nearly 36. So, you know, there have been many, many incidents of him taking off and disappearing. Up to 2 weeks, you know, has been the longest. And he invariably ends up in the hospital now because of his diabetes.
Langley Couper is intellectually disabled and has insulin-dependent diabetes. He also suffers from the rare condition of Prader-Willi syndrome, an eating disorder which gives him an insatiable appetite.
No matter how much he eats, his brain still tells him that he's hungry, that he's malfunctioning, basically.
Overeating and diabetes is a dangerous combination. Langley is not carrying insulin to keep his diabetes under control.
Now he's going to possibly end up in a coma before he's able to, to alert somebody the way things are going.
Langley's mother, Yvonne, has some more worrying news. A bank has given Langley a credit card.
Mail arrived for Langley and for this, and what it was a letter, credit card details, approved limit of $3,000, and the credit card number. Money, of course, has always been a major issue because he doesn't spend it necessarily in an appropriate way, which is going out and buying food usually.
Yvonne also warns Langley's high blood sugar levels could make him difficult to handle.
This is normal for people with diabetes. They get aggressive and you just can't reason with them.
The pressure is on Daniel and Ted to find Langley quickly.
It's one of those real worrying situations because if he's not located and if he is unable to recognise that himself in time, we could have the worst possible ending to this scenario. There were a couple of places where we know that he does frequent or that he's more likely to go to. We're going to go and check out a couple of those places now. Basically, every minute that we don't know where he is one more minute closer to him being in real trouble.
Daniel and Ted are heading to the Blacktown Workers Club where Langley was dropped off. But after talking to club staff and checking security footage, they leave with no new information on where he might be. But there is still a chance that Langley might be found at his favourite food outlets.
G'day, how you going? We're just actually after a missing person. Just wondering if he'd been in here, if you'd seen him at all. Yeah. That's a photo of him.
Don't recognise, sorry.
No worries.
No, they actually haven't seen him at all.
No one's seen him?
No.
Is he known to frequent the place, or is he?
Yeah, well, he's from the area, and we're sort of anticipating like he might be at one of the fast food sort of places or something similar to that.
Yeah. So can I take a look at the picture again?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't recall seeing a person like that, but I can certainly show it to my staff.
Sorry, unfortunately, none of them on at the moment recognise him.
No worries.
But yeah, if you could send out another photo, we'll put it up for sure. Get the crew to keep an eye out for him.
That'd be magic.
No worries. Thanks for your help.
No worries, Neil. Look, really appreciate your time, hey. That's excellent.
Thanks for your help.
Unfortunately, nobody's seen him, which is a bit disappointing. We do have the advantage, though, that there's a lot more people aware of him now and a lot more people will be out and looking for him. We'll head back and we'll go from there.
10 months after Darren Jones went missing, his family finally received some good news.
There you go, mate.
G'day, Mr. Bailey. How you going, mate?
So after all this time, you got some good news on
Yeah.
on Darren, eh?
Darren was found safe and pretty well around a shopping centre out of Burwood, and he was actually arrested for trespassing because he'd been hanging around there a little bit too long.
Yeah.
And he had no identification on him, and Burwood police took him in and printed him and found out who he was.
Yep.
So now he's under the good care of it out at Westmead Hospital, and he's out there having a little bit of a holiday, just relaxing and getting on his medication again, mate.
And how's his demeanour sort of since they put him in there and sort of now? Is it coming good or?
He'd been through so many hard times in the 15 months out in the street. He trusted people and they turned against him, so he really closed himself up into a shell.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a problem, but now he's come back out and he's trusting everyone again, mate.
Well, you would have seen him when they found him anyway, so that was obviously how he sort of was.
Wild man from Borneo, basically, and he wasn't far off it.
Yeah, it was really good news.
Oh, mate, it's great.
To find him and get him back, because, you know, who knows how long he might have lasted out there.
I thought Darren was lost and who was going to help me. Yeah. And honestly, it's you guys, mate, that...
All right.
Yeah, found him. Yep. And on behalf of my mother too, mate.
Yep. And hope everything goes well.
Back on his medication and with the love and support of his family, Darren's days of wandering might finally be over. At headquarters, officers have been summoned to a meeting to hear about a new assault on the growing problem of teenage runaways.
Okay, we have information to suggest that there's been a high number of missing people that have been reported and located around Town Hall steps in Sydney CBD. What we've decided...
Instead of waiting for adolescents to be reported missing, officers are being dispatched to a notorious city precinct to look for serial offenders known to hang out there.
We're going to work with the local area police, including the youth liaison officer from that area. Any questions?
Searching for teenagers who've run away from home ties up a huge amount of police time. The figures are frightening. Of the 35,000 people reported missing each year, nearly 2/3 are young runaways. Most of those are vulnerable teenage girls. 99% are found safe and well. But while ever they remain missing, they are at risk. Senior Constable Mandy Gale and Daniel Woodcroft are at the Sydney Town Hall, a well-known magnet for runaways lured by its crowded underground station, pedestrian tunnels, and places to shelter and hide. This afternoon, they're looking for young kids who've abandoned their homes and headed for the anonymity of the city centre.
Well,
That was
no
like
one's really
2
worried.
months ago.
Yeah, no, but she was
been
reported
missing for a
again
while.
last night.
I haven't
seen
They're particularly worried about a 16-year-old girl who's gone missing and ended up here before.
We've just spoken to some kids behind us that actually know Jennifer. She's frequenting in here quite a lot. I know for a fact her health has deteriorated somewhat since the last time she went missing, so she's a big focus and a big concern for us at the moment. There are kids in there. If we can help one person out of the hundreds of kids that do this, you know, we'll be happy. It's just a picture of a girl that...
It doesn't look familiar.
Just show you another picture.
Going by the photograph.
It's a time-consuming and difficult process tracking down runaway teenagers.
Everything's happy at home.
Yeah, that's good. I can't understand.
What about a school attendance and that? You've been going to school regularly?
Yeah.
Going missing is not a crime, but when someone's son or daughter runs away, there is a victim.
Please call Mum and Dad. I'd just like to know where you are and if you're safe.
Mums and dads worried sick and fearing the worst.
Just let me know she's all right. Please.
These are the scenes officers at the Missing Persons Unit have to deal with all the time.
Your family's everywhere looking for you. And I just want her back. No one loves you more than your own mum.
There are more happy endings than unhappy. But on nights like this, while ever a young person is still missing, that counts for nothing.
Missing person.
No, there are always a few girls around. She might be one of them, but no definite match.
In the centre of Sydney, the search is continuing for teenage runaways. In particular, a 16-year-old girl who didn't return home the previous evening.
Have you seen Jennifer since the other day?
Yeah, she only came for like 2 seconds and left. She didn't tell me where she was going though. If I see her again, I'll ask where she's going and what she's doing.
I haven't seen her.
Your mum and dad, you obviously know where you're in here?
Yeah.
She's thought to be somewhere in the vicinity of the Town Hall Underground Station, a known hangout for youths living on the streets.
This is a parent's worst nightmare. There's people lurking around, and you know the sleazy looking kids up and down, and half of these kids, you know, they're 14, 15 years old. They're still babies, you know. They should be at home doing homework with their families.
On a night this bleak, there's one place a lot of runaways are likely to visit.
Hey Jeff, nice weather.
A charity food van that feeds Sydney's homeless and street kids.
We've had a few kids go missing that all seem to come into Town Hall.
You see a lot of kids around. I mean, Casey, yeah.
What ages are these guys?
12, 13, 14. Yeah. They know there's a hot food here, so they'll go over the line there, and that's where you'll see them. They'll see yours and they'll all shoot through. They usually just come and they'll get their tucker and off they go. If you see anyone, we'll let you know.
That'll be awesome.
Thank you.
Cheers. See you later.
Yeah.
This is real. Like, people are living on the streets. It's freezing cold. It's pouring rain. Like, we get to go home to a warm house after here, but these kids are going to live here. People are going to sit out in this all night, you know. So it is reality, and this is what it's like.
That's what we're trying to understand is why. Why do they choose this over the warm bed and the roof and the food on the table? That's the biggest, you know, that's the #1 question that we need to answer.
The idea to visit the food van has paid off. Mandy and Janelle have spotted a teenager they know shouldn't be here.
So she's Jennifer's friend anyway.
We know that she is a friend of Jennifer. As typical teenagers do, she's not going to tell us anymore other than she's okay.
No lead on Jennifer, but at least they can help get her friend off the streets.
We've identified that she's more than likely a missing person, and we'll make some more inquiries on the way, but we're going to take her home, get her out of the rain and get her home where she's supposed to be. She's not supposed to be out here, so we got one, so it's a start.
It's a good result. A young girl is returned to proper shelter and out of harm's way. But there are no thanks for the police team, who went out of their way to make sure she'd be able to sleep safely.
It's a really thankless part of policing, and it's not that you do it for the thanks, but we had a bit of a chat on the way back, and Angela seems to think that we've ruined her night by bringing her home, but it's just frustrating because you can't get into their heads. You're here to help them, and, you know, yeah, we don't understand, we're not walking their shoes, but, you know, what they're doing is dangerous, and it's cold, and it's wet, and she needs to be here.
The following day, in their search for missing diabetic Langley Couper, Daniel and Ted finally get the news they were hoping for.
We've had a bit of really good news as far as Langley goes. He has actually been found, which is excellent. The scary thing is our worst fears really nearly came to fruition. He was actually required to go to hospital. We're going to now go and see him. He's actually out of hospital now. We'll speak to him and just see how he's going.
Langley's mother, Yvonne, has driven 5 hours from Kempsey to be with her son.
Hello, hello. Finally get to me.
Yeah.
How you going, Langley? I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Daniel, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Is it Yvonne, is it?
Yvonne, yes.
I suppose you know you were reported missing, is that right? Did you know that? Yeah? Did you know that people were out looking for you or anything like that? Yeah?
Yeah.
What happened? Tell me what happened.
Yvonne is normally in charge of Langley's finances, but the bank found a way around this and sent a credit card directly to her son, who used the money to go missing.
Langley acquired a credit card, and he went on a little holiday. Only we didn't know. He was staying in hotels and unfortunately hadn't got his medication with him.
It is a hard thing to manage, diabetes, and I think that's what your mum and
everyone's worried about the most is managing that and making sure that you're okay.
Look, I'm just really rapt that you're okay, like that, you know, that you're here with Mum and you're obviously, you know, you're out of hospital and everything's good. It's a real relief for us. What you must go through every day, man, I'll take my hat off to you, hey, like, you're a warrior. Good on you. Thanks. All right, no worries.
Hopefully
Thank you.
we won't see you again too soon.
Yeah, that's right. No worries, take it easy, guys.
Thanks.
Bye now. Cheers.
Say bye.
This really isn't a run-of-the-mill missing persons case. Look, I really feel and understand Langley in this situation. I mean, with his medical conditions, every day of his life, he is living in a controlled environment, really restricted on what he can and can't do. I mean, I don't blame him one little bit for needing to get away once in a while. For him to live with this stuff every day, the guy is a real warrior and he should be really proud of himself. And, I mean, his mum obviously loves him so much. It's just great to see.
Every year, over 35,000 people are reported missing in Australia. Have you seen Chantel McDougall, who disappeared from Busselton, Western Australia in 2007? Or Rakesh D'Souza, last seen in Melbourne in 2005? And Stephen Goldsmith, who went missing from New Farm, Queensland in 2000. If you have any information, please call 1-800 333 000.